We're on.
Okay, here on Metal Talk Net. We're here in London, it's an academy, and I'm here with the legendary heavy metal singer, Sebastian Bach. How are you, Sebastian?
Hello. Not the legendary piano player Sebastian Bach, because he's dead.
You're very right, very good, sir. And you're Canadian, he is not.
That's right.
And back in 1989, you were the Youth Gone Wild, and
yes.
22 years later, you're still very youthful, and you're still very wild.
Well, thank you. I smashed my head tonight on the mic stand, which is quite rock and roll.
Especially as the first song as well.
And I was going like this in the first song, and I had fucking blood all over my face, and it was all over the stage. I look at the set list, and it's all bloody, and I'm like, oh my god.
I think you've actually cut your eye as well, as you might have a nice little shiner for the French tomorrow.
Yes. Actually, I've gone Hindu, actually.
And tonight was your first time you played the London Islington Academy, but in many ways, London has been very instrumental in the career of yourself and Skid Row. You've played many legendary shows here.
Yes.
In many ways, it put you on the global map, haven't
Yes. Well, London is the center of the heavy metal world, like the press, you know, all the magazines and the industry and the festivals like Download. It's like the center. So if you do good here, you know, you do good around Europe, you know. But it's weird. My solo career has been more bigger in the rest of Europe than England, but that's due to the record companies and you know, now that I'm on Frontiers, they're like
and that's like because you're going to new territories that you didn't go to Skid Row originally.
Well, in Angel Down, when that came out, in every territory in Europe except England.
That's right.
But who the fuck puts out a record in Norway and not England? Like what kind of bullshit is that? Like, I mean, you don't get any press, you don't get anything. It's because EMI had the option and they picked it up in every country except England.
Yeah.
So that's why you didn't read about me in Kerrang and shit like that.
Yeah, you're right in many ways, because your progress gone.
That's right.
When you split Guns N' Roses a few years back, we thought, oh, Sebastian's alive again.
That's right. When I signed with Frontiers, they're amazing in Europe and they in England, and they gave us, you know, a good budget to do a really good album. We filmed 3 videos. We got a new video called I'm Alive, which is on television starting next week in America. So hopefully it'll get over here. But and then they played the first one, Kicking and Screaming, which was great. So I'm very happy with the album.
You got your album out, came out last year, Kicking and Screaming, and I made a few videos, and you got a little young lady in the videos.
Turn around, that's her. Turn around the camera. She's all right.
And also you've got his personas like Rock God and the ladies love you and kind of thing, but in many ways you're a different character to the one on stage. It's like you was like married for many years, you had a family, and you never sort of been one for the groupies kind of thing, have you? You sort of
No. Well, number one, I don't want to need diseases. Nothing against groupies, but it's like, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's kind of gross, like, you know, being like that, you know, especially at my age.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, girls have a fantasy about rock and roll, and it's part of rock and roll. But the reality is, who's going to sit with me and watch a movie? You know, who's going to go out to dinner with me and have a good conversation?
Yeah, quality time.
And you know, she can have any guy she wants.
And you can have any girl you want.
Well, I don't know about that, but thank you for saying. But you know, she can have any dude she wants, and it's like, I respect her as a person, and it's like I'm hers, and she, you know, that's the way it is, and girls, you know, that get jealous of her or mad at her on the internet or just make me laugh because they don't know me. They don't know me.
It's funny
they don't fucking watch movies.
It's funny
they don't take care of my cut on my head after I come on stage and tell me I'm okay.
Laundry and
cover up my eyes at the scary parts.
And it's funny you say that girls getting jealous of you, and
well, they don't get jealous of me. They get jealous of whatever girl I'm with.
And that's very true. And also, like funny enough, like when I was younger, like my girlfriend at the time, this is the time when Skid Row first hit it, and my girl at that time, highly infatuated with you. The mere mention of your name, she'd almost have an orgasm.
You'd go, fuck that guy! What the fuck? Fuck him, man!
Never that effect with a bitch of my name. I mean, it's like, and it's strange, even all these years later, there's like guys in the audience saying, F you, Sebastian. You still have that evoke on some people, you know. Why is that exactly? You know,
I don't know.
You've got a love-hate relationship with the fans, and some sort of some despise you for some reason, don't they?
Well, as long as they come to the show. I mean,
So they spend their money.
a download, you couldn't have got more people in front of the show,
Yeah.
in front of our set. So, you know, there had to be 40,000 people there. So, I mean, that's amazing. That's an amazing thing. But as far as, you know, like some guys will get, you know, if their girl likes you, they're not going to take that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
I get fucking things emailed that are complete fantasy that I have to, you know, defend and stuff like this. And it's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. People on the internet are all tough and shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking crazy.
They talk a different language on the internet than they do in real life.
Oh yeah, totally. The ultimate example of that is Axl. Like, because people will say what they want about him. When he walks into the room, people fucking drop on their motherfucking knees. Like, they're like, oh my God, they can't even believe he's in their presence.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing you ever saw.
Well, he's got godlike status in many ways because the way.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
a secret persona.
like a guy like Mick Wall, right, will write a book bashing Axl. He'll be the first one to suck his fucking dick. You know, fall on his fucking hands and knees and blow him.
Yeah.
If Axl would give him the time of fucking day, which he won't.
And funny enough, like, we supported the Guns N' Roses at Wembley Stadium in 1981 on the Side Grind tour, and and then you came back and say you came
that
back.
was where I met Robert Downey Jr. for the first time.
And
He loved the show.
yeah, I've got this like close relationship with Axl Rose, and I'll tell you who's the real Axl Rose quickly.
He's a musician. Like, all he's concerned about is his voice and singing as best he can. That's what he cares about. And he cares about the name Guns N' Roses, which he owns.
Yeah.
He cares about the name, and he tries to make sure that the legacy of the band is not, you know, tarnished by corporations and third parties. He just tries to keep in control of what is a huge brand, which is his brand. Yeah.
And a lot, so you just played Download this weekend, and funny enough, 20 years ago you played Download for the first time. And once again, there's another couple of wet, rainy weekends.
Oh yeah.
What do you remember?
Downpour.
Yeah, Downpour. I think back then you played, like, you were second on the bill to Iron Maiden, wasn't you?
Yes, and then in 96 or 95,
95 with Metallica.
we were second on the bill to
Metallica.
Metallica.
Metallica Therapy, but they're not really heavy metal, so
Yeah.
we'd say you're second on the bill, yeah.
Oh right. Okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, oops.
But obviously, growing up as a kid, Monsters of Rock was a big thing for you, because I remember in 92, like, wow, we were in the holy ground of Donington then.
Well, yeah, because you know, you always read about bands playing there, like Priest and you know, even like Anvil and stuff, because I'm from Toronto.
Yeah, because Anvil played the second one,
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's like the biggest festival in the world. So like, I even came out, I go, what's up, Castle Donington? And the whole place went, yeah. They're like, fucking right. So yeah, it'll always be Castle Donington to me.
Yeah, and to me as well. Yeah,
It's just because it's on that ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose in many ways, well, Hammersmith Odeon, you played like the one-off date, a fantastic one-off date there back in 1990.
Where?
Hammersmith Odeon.
Oh yeah. That's another legendary venue, and the Marquee too.
Yeah, exactly, the Marquee.
You know,
which is
very lucky to play.
Yeah.
I have some great pictures from that gig. That was like the hottest show ever.
Yeah, that's right. It was summertime.
Until Belfast 2 nights ago. That was crazy. Yeah. But I remember playing the Marquee, and there was so much sweat from the crowd that the walls were sweating.
That's right, yeah.
Like, I remember, I go, what the fuck's... I remember being on stage and said to the guitar player, what's fucking wrong with the walls? Because there was water coming down the walls.
Yeah. That's
He goes, that's sweat, dude.
Sweat,
I go, holy shit. The walls of the venue are literally sweating.
Unfortunately, we've lost the Marquee now, but it
yeah.
can never replace it. It's like CBGBs in many ways in New York.
Yeah.
You know, it's like an iconic place and fantastic. And pretty talking of Skid Row, you know, it's always been his rumours. Skid Row never going to get back together. And I think he surprised people last week in the press, and he said, well, I'm not the one who's...
There's only one guy that doesn't want to do it, you know.
Do you want to tell us a bit more about that? Or?
Well, I don't know what else to say. Like, what is there to say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's their thing that they, you know.
Because I'll just quickly remind the readers, like, it was actually back in 1996 we had a chance to support KISS.
Yes.
And the other guys Skid Row said, well, we're not a support band, blah, blah, blah. And
No, it wasn't that they weren't a support band. It was that one guy was busy with his side project.
yeah.
And he didn't have time to do it. And I was like, Oh my God. And his side project involved some of the roadies of Skid Row, like guys that I paid like $1,000 a week to tune the guitar, is the reason that I can't fucking play with Kiss. And I'm like, wow, dude, really?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you're hard to work with. I go, really? Really? I'm hard to work with, yeah. Okay.
So is that something you do really want yourself for the future, like a Skid Row reunion? I think
No,
do it,
I don't want it for myself at all. I want it for you.
You're very right in many ways, because the fans are begging almost, aren't they?
But we're all alive, and it's too easy not to do. And it's not about us being best buddies and singing Kumbaya around the fire. It's like, you know, I know some bands. One band, you know, I won't say who it is, but there's one band I've seen that I've never seen two guys that hate each other more. And they don't hang out. They show up and they get on stage. And
I think I know what you're talking about.
They make the rock. They make the music, and you know, it's not about being best.
It's like, you know, it's not about being best buddies.
If they wanted to be best buddies, I'd be up for having a barbecue and throwing the frisbee around. And
I was like, it's not always about being best buddies. It's just like when you get on stage, the chemistry just smacks in, and wow, we've got something here, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm very happy with my band. I love playing with Nick Sterling. He's a great guitar player.
And tell us a bit more about Nick Sterling, because I say you said about the Youth Gone Well tonight, and you made quite a funny comment, because there's someone who's
actually a youth
on the stage. Yeah, how old is he?
He just turned 21, like a couple months
ago. He doesn't look, he looks younger now, doesn't he?
Well, I got him in the band, he was 19. He's already played every arena in England. We played with Guns N' Roses the whole last tour in 2009 or something. And so he's already been on tour all over the world, and he's just 21, and it's amazing. He's a great player, great songwriter.
Yeah,
so that's
obviously the new album is still very much in the Skid Row vein. You got the Bob was that passion.
Well, what you're hearing, I think, is you know, we came up with the first Skid Row album when we were teenagers.
Yeah,
and he's a teenager.
Yeah.
And I think when you're, you know, 50 years old and you say, oh, we're going to do a record like when we were 17, it's not quite so easy.
Yeah, do you think it's easy to come out with, do you think it's easy to write those sort of songs when you are 17? Because you've got the innocence and...
Well, that's why he's in my band. When I write with him, it's all fucking brand new, kick-ass, killer riffs that I love.
Yeah.
And it's very easy. And I'm lucky that my voice sounds the same in the studio. When I listen back to it, it sounds the same as the first Skid Row album. So I don't know how the fuck I pulled that off. I attribute it all to clean living, you know.
Ish.
It's gonna throw something at me.
Like it is, you can't smell with his camera.
But for some reason, my voice sounds the same as it did.
And you've still got exactly the same attitude.
Well, yeah, because, you know, rock and roll keeps you young, that's true. There's something about it. But like a song like Caught in a Dream on the new record, it sounds so much like the fucking first Skid Row. Like the chorus, caught in a dream, looking in from the outside, longing to be. It just sounds totally, to me, like it could have been on that first Skid Row.
And what's your conversation between you and Nick? Does he ask you for advice, or do you ask him where?
No, like we co-wrote the title track, One Good Reason, Lost in the Light, I think another song, but he had a lot of songs written that he showed me, and then he just sits down, he plays a riff, I'm like, I don't like that, or yes, I like that, and then I hum something to it, and
So would you say you're having more fun now as a solo artist than you ever done in many ways?
No, I've always had fun, but it stopped being fun in my old band.
Yeah.
So that's why we're not together.
Yeah.
Rock and roll should always be fun.
Exactly,
I said that to her and her. But it should be fun.
Yeah, because you spend a lot of time travelling on buses, and believe me, there's a lot of hanging around. That's not the fun. So you got to find the right guys on the bus.
Yeah, you have to get along with people. And before, when I said, you know, it doesn't have to be best buddies, I would love to be best buddies with those guys or whatever. But you know, they always talk about some shit that happened in fucking 91. Who gives a fuck what happened in fucking... Who cares? I can't even remember fucking 1991. Yeah. Like, it's like, well, you did this in Metal Edge magazine. I'm like, what the fuck? It's fucking 2012.
Yeah. And
It's like, who cares about 91? Like,
well, forget the past, let's talk about the future. What's the plans?
Frontiers wants another new record, which is exciting, but they don't understand how hard that is. But I'll do my best. They want another record, and there's a book deal on the table that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then there's a DVD that they want us to do, a live DVD, which we're talking about doing.
And if you write a book, would that be a truthful account?
Huh?
If you write like an autobiography, would that be like a truthful account?
A truthful account.
Yeah. So you've got many stories out there, haven't you?
Well, I don't know if I want to do like the autobiography of my life because that is such a fucking heavy, crazy story.
Yeah, exactly.
My life has been nuts. It'll be all the good and the bad and the ugly. And there's a lot of ugly in there, and there's a lot of good, and there's some bad. But
you can make a film out of it almost, really.
I'm saying I don't know if I want to just do my autobiography because it's going to be really thick. It could be a road journal. It could be a photo book. It could, like, one idea I have is, you know, all those pinups of me from the fucking 90 and 89. There's billions of them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to do a photo book of those because everybody loves that shit.
Yeah.
And that's so easy to do. And people would like that. People would like that. So I don't know. There's a lot of different ideas. Yeah.
The film Rock of Ages is coming out in a couple of weeks' time, and I believe you had a bit of involvement in that.
Yeah, I got a little part in that with Russell Brand and his scene. I play rocker number 4.
Yeah.
It's a stretch.
And also, you're no stranger to acting. You've been on Broadway, so.
Yeah, that was the first big movie I've done, and I was amazed at the detail. Like they recreated Sunset Strip in Miami, and it was incredible. Like it was blocks and blocks and blocks. You know, the Rainbow and the Roxy and fucking Laugh Factory, everything that's on the Sunset Strip. It was amazing. It was in Miami. And I said to them, you should leave this here and make like a Sunset Strip theme park. You know, like people can come like the Rainbow in Miami, and it looked exactly like reality.
How does it compare, like the acting to being on stage? What gives you the most sort of satisfaction?
Well, rock and roll, I'm in charge on the stage. It's my stage.
Yeah.
When you do a Broadway show, there's producers and directors and other actors and the whole band in the pit. So rock and roll, you know, if you don't feel like singing the chorus, you can hold the mic out and go, hey, you don't do that on Broadway. You know, Jesus,
with the lines.
hey, motherfuckers. Like Jesus Christ doesn't say, hey, motherfuckers.
It could be
that did happen once in the play, because in the act 2, I was in bare feet, like half the show. And there's a scene where this angry guards are mad at Jesus and they're beating him up and shit, and they're wearing these big fucking boots, and these actors are stomping, and I'm like humbled over in bare feet, and this actor goes, bah! And I go, fuck, dude, fuck! But nobody heard but I just screamed, fuck! And I couldn't do anything, and I was in the worst pain. It just sucked. They're very, very mean to Jesus in Act 2.
Sebastian, it's been fantastic talking to you. Life's been very boring without you on this planet. And,
oh, right on.
You do quite like rock and roll.
Thank you, dude.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you
All the
very
best in the
much.
future. The
All
album,
right, Metal Talk.
Kicking and Screaming.
Yes, check out the
Go
new
and get it on
video.
Frontiers.
I'm Alive, out now. All
It'll be
right.
on VH1 next couple of
Yes.
weeks. So check it out. Sebastian, fantastic. All the
Thank you,
best.
buddy.
Cheers, mate.
All right,
Cheers.
dude.
Thank you.
Thank you.